welcome to round one of the People's Card Shop Local Nexus Night. We have Irvin versus Gale. It is Yasuo versus Ahri. How do you feel about that, Michael?
This is an interesting matchup. I don't think I've ever seen a Yasuo versus Ahri before. Two decks that not too many people are playing right now, with a lot of ability to move their own units and other units around the battlefield.
It's going to be a lot of tricks and a lot of things happening. It's going to be a green mirror match, so there's going to be a lot of battle tricks happening and a lot of defies, a lot of negates flying around.
Our Yasuo player has chosen to start with the Hillock. That is when your units are there, it gives them ganking, and the Ahri player is going to start with Dreaming Tree for her first battlefield.
Yep. And Ahri classically uses a bunch of stuff like retreats, discipline, things that target, so it's going to be a lot of draws for that one. But Yasuo also has a lot of those options of targeting itself for beneficial effects.
At the start of the game, not a lot of people were realizing how crazy Dreaming Tree was, but I feel like every deck that can utilize it a little bit has it in their lineup in some way.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So here we are. We're just waiting for the two players to start the match here. Just want to thank everybody who is here for the stream and for the YouTube videos. If this video is clipped for it, shout out to you guys.
We're going to be streaming here every Monday night, Riftbound Locals at the People Card Shop. These VODs will also be posted to the YouTube as well, the People's Card Shop YouTube.
All right, here, both players are starting off. Yasuo versus Ahri.
Yasuo's legend ability is tap him for 2 mana, and you may move a unit. Ahri's ability is when an enemy unit attacks into a battlefield that they control, she gives it -1 to a minimum of 1 might for the turn.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting matchup, Ahri versus Yasuo. Ahri wants to kind of bunker down, settle on one battlefield, and kind of just hold on up. But Yasuo wants to double conquer, so it's two strategies that want to kind of do varying different things. So it's going to be really interesting to see which one comes out on top.
I like what the Yas kept in his hand. He kept a Ride the Wind and a Gust. So activating Find Your Center, being able to ramp and draw 1 card.
Yep. And here you go, putting a seal on here, setting up for any future recycles. Basically, it's going to be good because eventually he will be playing this 3-drop Ahri, which will recycle back 1 rune. So he's preparing for that in the future. And normally, finding your center isn't really the most productive turn. However, if the Yasuo player wants to not play a unit this turn, it's going to be great. Oh, and wow, he's passing, not playing another unit. Yasuo, known to be a very aggressive deck, wants to get a lot of quick points early on. But let's see what the Ahri player is going to try to do. Here you go, playing the Ahri.
Looks like off to a slow start for both
players. Both players, yeah.
Ahri's just choosing to play her Ahri from her champion zone, just for the tempo of having another creature on the battlefield, while Yasuo didn't play anything last turn.
Yeah, and dang, surprisingly, there is no green runes available for Irvin. So any weird tricks like Defy or anything like that is not available right now to him. Can't even summon his Yasuo leader because of the no green mana.
That is really unfortunate, not being able to, at this point in the game, summon your Yasuo when you have that much mana and nothing to do with it, and just off the green for the Yas.
And here you go, another seal being played by Gale, just slowly building up. Honestly, right now, a slow matchup, it really, really favors Ahri because Ahri really just wants to go to the late game and just slowly gain points and holding down. And a Gust here, just trying to save some points. It's kind of feel bad because Irvin can't really abuse or make make use of the no monsters. The Ahri comes back down and nothing. Pretty boring game state. There seems to be no monsters coming down. Finally, we got green mana. Maybe he can play the Yasuo leader. It's a really slow start here by Yasuo. Do you think it's already over now for the Yasuo? Like almost 3 turns of passing with no units here.
Uh, it's been pretty slow, but the Ahri actually hasn't done anything to contest any points at all. The Ahri also has no points right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Mind Splitter coming down. When the Mind Splitter enters the battlefield, you get to look at the opponent's hand and toss one card from their hand to the trash. Not only do you get to take a card, but you have all that knowledge on what to play around. So we have a Defy. We have the 2-mana Battle Trick that draws a card and gives +2 might. A Charm. We're thinking on what to get rid of here. If we want to get rid of the Charm or we want to get rid of the Deny. We're going to get rid of the card that enables the player to draw one card, buff a unit by 2 might. That card trades 1 for 1, so getting rid of it stops him from getting an additional card after being able to utilize the might bonus it would give.
Yeah, and Irvin's just trying to simplify the game, just trying to make it to where his Mind Splitter is the biggest unit on the field. There you go. The Ahri got a point. Here you go, the Mind Splitter coming in, trying to challenge the Ahri.
It's going to get +2 might and then +1 might from the hero and from the Ahri champion and a Stupefied, so it's down 4. So right now the Mind Splitter is at 3, but it's getting +1 bonus from the gear on the field if it attacks him solo. So Mind Splitter is at 4 right now, so the Ahri player still has to make a move in order to win this showdown.
Mm-hmm. Having to use multiple cards always feels bad for any type of player, but hopefully a lot of these cards replace themselves.
What that card does is you banish one creature and you get to resummon it. So just choosing to save the Ahri here, the Ahri is going to lose that battle, so instead of just sacking it to the Mind Splitter, we're going to resummon it to our base instead.
Here you go. He gets to untap with a Mind Splitter. And so just so we know, the Windswept Hillock gives the unit ganking, so he might be able to get a double point here on both battlefields. Okay, a second Mind Splitter. And honestly, this Yasuo deck is known to be aggressive sometimes, but this double Mind Splitter opening right here is really, really, really strong in just getting big units out on the field, making it hard for this Ahri to play. And Ahri normally is a type of leader that kind of wants to get the lead on the opponent, and right now it's on the back foot. It has a tough time breaking boards normally. Because Ari's main whole gimmick is whenever it is defending, it minuses 1 might from all units that the opponent would control. So it's usually trying to, hold. And if it's not holding, it's not really progressing the game state that it wants. even here, even if the 3-drop Ari goes into the any of the Mind Splitters, it's still going to be 5-3. There needs to be another battle trick. But it's not even going to be a 5-3 because of the gear equipment. I mean, the gear that's on the field giving +1. Okay, here we go. Retreat.
The Ahri player is in such a rough spot here, having to just recall her Ahri in order to get the debuff on the Mind Splitter right now. Using that to draw 1 card, pick up the Ahri, just going to probably play her again. Just play down the Ahri again. Unfortunately, it looks like we have a lot of ways to remove Ahri and get Ahri back onto the field. But the 2 Mind Splitters right now are just too powerful, and he doesn't have any battle tricks in his hand, as we saw before, in order to lower those any further for Ahri to actually be able to win a showdown against.
Yeah, and honestly, right now, it's looking real tough for the Ahri because, just like I said, Ahri wants to be holding battlefields, not really trying to conquer. So even though Gale had a lot of time in the early stages of this game, and a third Mind Splitter coming down, just tearing apart Gale's hand. You know, that's the beauty of the of the Mind Splitters in the deck. Sometimes the Yasuo deck wants to go real aggressive, but then when that game plan doesn't work out, back to back to back Mind Splitters might be enough. 2-for-1, 2-for-1, 2-for-1. Sometimes will get you there.
As we talked about last week, the Mind Splitter is one of those cards where it's just a 7-byte unit and it didn't look too powerful at the start of Riftbound, but as players started playing with it and being able to look at your opponent's hand, you just don't realize how much value and how differently you get to play by knowing that, ripping a card, and having all of that knowledge. So we see a lot of people in purple play the Mind Splitter now as
just
their
a
top end.
just as a value creature. You know what I mean? Not even as any type of combo or any type of thing like that. Just a 7 body, look at your hand, and that's enough information to win. But oh man, it gets even worse. There's a Mind Splitter in the base right now for Irvin. Like, even if Gale is able to just push one off, there's another 7 might unit coming down again. All right, Watcher, that's definitely a strong move here. Hopefully it comes in accelerated.
Right now it looks like it's coming in non-accelerated because he has it exhausted on the field, just getting the -3 on both Mind Splitters. Maybe he has some other thing he wants to use for the mana.
He's choosing to accelerate.
Oh, he's going to bounce his Watcher back in and give it -6.
And then does he have enough mana to accelerate it now?
He is going to accelerate that Watcher with the 1 blue mana. That was a crazy play.
And now he's able to crack both because that's 2-7.
Honestly, I've never seen that before. Blinking in the Watcher in order to get the -6, pay the accelerate cost, be able to take over both battlefields. What a strong swing. In Spirit Forge, this is something that the Ezreal deck is going to do. Ezreal's signature ability is able to blink in a creature, so this is going to be more common when you fight Ezreal decks.
Ezreal Mind Splitter is a nasty little combo.
So our Yasuo player played on guard. A creature gets +1 might, and if they are alone, they get plus an additional might. In response, our Ahri player is going to play Stupefy to lower it down. Unfortunately, Ahri is going to be just equal to trade, so we don't get the conquer point, but we do get to get rid of the 1 Mind Splitter. That was a good play from the Ahri, but we still must feel pretty behind. The Yasuo player just got to get a bunch of points off the last couple turns, and right now we are all tapped out with our Watcher losing to 1 battle trick to this Mind Splitter. Do we have any way to Well, we do have the way. We have the gear. So right now it just loses straight up to the Mind Splitter. Mind
Yeah,
Splitter can
8
go
over
in,
7. It's enough.
get one over. We're all tapped out. There's nothing we can do but sit here. Good play, though. But that means it was very smart of the Yasuo to put that Mind Splitter in the back row, back in his base, in order to protect it from any shenanigans or battle tricks that was going on that last turn.
Yeah, it always seems like it's a good rule of thumb to always just leave a monster in base from time to time, just so the worst case scenario happens, you'll be able to recover with just a conquer and return back to parity.
Especially versus blue decks that have access to that really heavy watcher turn where they're able to minus a bunch of creatures all at once.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to play our Merchant. Merchant, when he moves, you get to discard a card and draw one card. We're going to use our Yasuo ability in order to tap it and move a unit to a location. We're going to move our Merchant in to get a conquer point. We're going to discard a card. We're discarding our Tasty Feyfolk in order to draw into, looks like he drew into a Deny, which is a really great right now.
Yeah.
We have 2 mana open. We're able to have that Deny if we need it. Our Ahri has a lot of mana, but we know most of their hands, so they're on top deck mode at this point. Another Watcher will be a crazy, crazy top deck. If any of his
Sprite
creatures
Mother.
are the Sprite Mother,
Sprite Mother. Okay, that's going to be able to contest the bottom battlefield.
because of the 2 gears, that
Oh, it doesn't actually.
it is going to go up to 4. So he's going alone. So obviously we have a battle trick here. Put us up to 5. We do have the Deny in our hand. Are we going to use the Deny? We are. Let's keep that battlefield controlled. Let's stop him from drawing, stop him from winning the battlefield. And I do agree with that Deny. It was a really good Deny, and that's the handshake right there. He had nothing else. He was going to get the double hold point for the victory next turn. So game 1 goes to the Yasuo player.
Yeah, a really, really, really slow start. Didn't have a move till turn 3. Actually didn't even have a move till that because he couldn't even play the Yasuo on turn 3. He really just won off the back of Mind Splitter, Mind Splitter, Mind Splitter. It was, yeah. So what do you think? What do you think about the matchup still? Do you think it's still going to be like Yasuo or is it going to be Ahri's favor? What do you think?
I don't even know yet because that game was – they were
Yeah,
both so behind that they were just scrapping at the end.
Yeah, they just didn't get to do really what they wanted to do 9 times out of 10. It was just summon big guys, and that was the win, Con.
The Yasuo just very luckily was able to get all 3 Mind Splitters and rip all those cards from the hand to stop that interaction.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes just having stats is enough because 7 contested, it made Gale have to have a 2-for-1 almost every single time.
Okay, our players here are picking up their battlefields. That's why Mind Splitter is such a dangerous card. Definitely won the Yasuo that game.
Yep, even if there's no innate combo with a Mind Splitter, like him bringing it back or him summoning it even early, he's just summoning it basically just to make sure the coast is clear and for 7 energy, it's probably the best thing you could do at 7. So
our players are side decking. In Riftbound, you get to have 8 cards that you bring with you to every match. And in between every game, you get to take any card out of your main deck and put in 1 card, or however many you want, from your side deck. I wonder what cards Ahri had in order to counter the Yasuo. Normally, people are side decking for, obviously, what is the meta for Auroras and Kaisas. So I don't think you have very much in your side deck for the random Yasuo you're fighting.
Yeah. I would just do any type of creature removal or anything like that. Just try to get stuff that's in the base. If there's singularities or anything like that, I would definitely put that in.
However I feel fighting a Yasuo is I love Singularity and I also hate it. Because if they have any type of buff spell, they do waste your Singularity, but there are certain turns where they're tapped out, where if you play that Singularity, it just wins you the game. They play their Yasuo, they have a little 2-drop on the field, you play the Singularity, and that's really the game. But good Yasuo players will wait an extra turn in order to have the mana up in order to boost up their cards. Okay, let's see what battlefields our players are going to be having for our game 2. Our Ahri player is starting first.
So Obelisk of Power and Grove of the God Willow.
Grove of the God Willow. It's when you hold here, you get to draw 1 card. That is just a classic going first battlefield in order to get some card advantage in the early game. And then Obelisk of Power is each person starts with 1 extra rune. So we're going to start with 3, and we're going to start with 4. The Ahri chose to go second this game.
Oh, that's really interesting.
It's very surprising. So we're going to have our Vision Poro being able to look at the top card of our deck and decide if we want to keep it or recycle it.
Starting off with 4. So let's see what he can do.
It's a little interesting if you lose and you're trying to go second. I wonder what the Ahri's trying to tempo into, because when you're going second, you have a 3, 5 into 7 mana play. So it does just depend on what he wanted. So we have our Lecturing Yordle. Very good going second card. It has a tank and 2 might, and you get to draw 1 card. It's basically when you go second, you get to have your 2 might unit, but you also get to see a little more of your deck. So player 1 here is on 5 mana. Whoever is able to control the God Willow early on and get those extra draws are really going to be ahead in this game.
Yep, it's going to be a huge advantage, especially just with Ahri being able to have as many cards as possible. It wants to have as many battle tricks. But you know, honestly, with 1 blue mana with no green runes up, he's not really afraid of much, huh? There's not many stuff like that. It's just like a Stupefy that you can't really defy because Defy recycles back 1 green. So it looks like the shields are down right now.
Yasuo is able to do what he wants to right now. This is the most important turn in the game, deciding what he wants to hold, what creatures he's going to commit in order to secure that God Willow, or maybe he wants to develop in order to push in next turn. I think no matter what, if we are conquering, we're conquering the God Willow. The options right now is if we're leaving it in base. So we are pushing into the God Willow. We're going to try to hold it here. In our hand, we have the 3-drop water guy, and able to, when he attacks or defends alone, he gets +2 might. He's going to develop, play him down. We have 2 mana left over. And we are going to pass our turn. In our hand, it looks like we have a Fight or Flight, which is going to be really helpful for holding the God Willow. But again, as a green player, Ahri does have access to that deny, and she just drew into some green mana. Would have been unfortunate if she didn't, because there's so much
available
so
now,
much
yeah.
of it.
But now everything, almost every option is available now, because at most 2 green, like Windwall, that's the most like green specific card you can play. All right, here you go, the Raven Blue Student. Developing the board, going into the Obelisk of Power.
Nice. As a Yasuo player, we probably love to see this. We don't really have any worries right now. We're going to be able to hold that God Willow with his push into the Obelisk of Power.
Yep, and especially versus this Ahri deck, you kind of want to grind it out, or not necessarily grind it out, but not get grinded out by it. So every single card off of this Grove of the God Willow is just perfect.
Yeah, Ahri has a bunch of cheap battle tricks, so enabling Ahri to control the God Willow and just be able to use all these cheap battle tricks in order to win the battle, move Ahri around, give stuff minus points is really
Yeah, because
is very
Ahri with
bad.
3 open mana is a lot. A lot of things can happen.
So we get our first draw off the God Willow.
Here, going to 2 points now. What is Irvin going to do here? He's hovering 6. Looks like he might play the leader.
Ahri has so much open mana. We're definitely able to fight into that Lecturing Yordle, but because the Yordle controls that battlefield, the Ahri champion or the Ahri legend ability will give it -1 when it attacks in. Okay, we're almost tapped out. We have 1 left open, and we are going to play this unit. What he does is he moves a unit from a battlefield back to base. So we're going to move back that Lecturing Yordle to not even have to worry about the legend ability from the Ahri. We'll take control over that, get our 3rd point for the turn. We have 2 mana left over, and we're going to pass our turn.
All right, are you going to find a center to ramp up here?
Before the turn pass, we are going to activate Find Our Center in order to not waste that mana on our opponent's turn when they go into Conquer. So Ahri had all that open mana just in case she needed to do any battle tricks, but had the Find Your Center, so she didn't really waste her mana. She basically was able to play the Find Your Center on the opponent's turn.
Yep, and that's why Find Your Center is good. You know, you can leave open mana, and if your opponent doesn't really try to progress their game, try to threaten anything like that, you can still use it and not feel bad that you didn't use your mana that turn.
This is a really crucial turn for the Ahri. We have a good setup here with the Taunt and the Ravenbloom student. The Lecturing Yordle is really nice because it basically protects whatever unit that you're going to push in with.
Okay, we're hoping for, yep, looks like he's putting back 2. It's going to be a Thousand-Tailed Watcher, putting -3 to everything.
That is really rough for the Yasuo player. Watcher being one of the strongest cards in the game right now. Whenever it comes down from a blue opponent, it puts you in a rough position. They get to trade for free into both battlefields, and they get a big body as well.
Yeah, the 7 body is nothing to scoff at. At the end of it, you just cleared a whole bunch of monsters and leaving a 7 body. You know, it's going to just trade with even more.
What's really nice about the one water 3-drop is it goes down to 1, but then when it attacks or defends alone, it does go up to 3 because the Watcher -3 doesn't keep track. It hits when the Watcher hits the field. So everything gets -3 when Watcher hits, and then any stat changes after that, they don't take in consideration if they didn't get the full -3. So we're determining here if we want to fight or flight the Watcher back to the base, and I think this is a good idea because our unit that is in the Watcher's position in the top battlefield does have 3 might while defending. So if we have 1 spell with the Ravenbloom, we can trade, but now this puts the Ahri player off trading to both battlefields because now there's not enough units to go around. It's either he wants to trade into the poor at the bottom, take him off the God Willow, or he wants to get rid of the more annoying unit that is on the top battlefield.
Yep, and it's really good just to keep Ahri off of any points. Ahri's the type of deck that tries to win by holding, so it's going to be a lot slower to win, not necessarily getting 2 points, 2 points, 2 points all the time. So just keeping them off of any point lead is just very strong.
We're going to pass here because if we attacked into any of them, there was retaliation from the unit that is in the base in order to just get the Ravenbloom and the Lecturing Yordle for free. So it is a rough position. Our Yasuo player definitely knowing when playing a unit in the back is better than playing a unit in the front. Having that one unit in the back played around the Watcher again. He did it here in game 2, allowing him to not get so
And he got
destroyed by
Mind
this
Splitter.
Watcher.
And it's going perfect right here. Now he gets to see what he wants to play around here. Right now,
Yordle,
it looks like it's
Mother.
7 mana, so it's not even close to Time Warp being an issue here.
We have Time Warp, Yordle, Mother, and Tasty Feyfolk. A lot of cards with Accelerate. Maybe we get rid of the Tasty Feyfolk. Ahri is kind of, in like 2 turns, she'll be able to Time Warp, but will that be enough to win her the game? The Yasuo player has to determine, is this Time Warp a dead card? And he determined that it is. We're going to get rid of the Tasty Feyfolk. So next turn, he doesn't have a big push. He just has the Time Warp next turn and the Sprite Mother in order to push into some battlefields. I agree with taking the Tasty Feyfolk because he could have taken the
it has
Watcher.
the most. Huh?
Hmm?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, I was going to say what you're going to say. It has the most impact next turn immediately.
Yes, exactly.
Accelerate, showing why it is the most premium of keywords. Tasty Feyfolk isn't even that big. He's just kind of neutral, but being able to just run out immediately
Affects
is
the
nice.
board.
We're going to move our smaller Poro back, move our medium unit in order to hold the Grove again. We could have tried the hold with the Poro, but it just kind of loses to whatever's on board right now. The Yasuo player is definitely thinking that he's going to lose both battlefields. He'll be pretty pleased if he doesn't. I'm assuming his game plan is on the next turn. He's going to have a strong counterattack in order to retake the battlefields and do what he can with his 2 mana up right now in order to salvage whichever battlefield might be able to stick.
All right, his seal comes down. He recycles a rune. Yeah, it looks like he's going to tap 3 mana. What can he play? He might be playing the unit.
3,
Okay,
4, 5.
5.
Recycle
Goes
2,
back.
5 mana recycle 2.
Is that
We're
an
playing
Echo?
Echo.
Oh, wow, Echo. That is
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been kind of testing out Echo, and he is pretty cool. Echo, he has Accelerate, and when Echo dies, he
Recycles himself to untap all the mana.
recycles himself, and you get all your runes back.
Yeah.
So we're going to be able to use all this mana again. Unfortunately, we might have not had a 1 or 2 mana play, so we're going to Fight or Flight the Watcher back out. We have our Echo, and we have our tank Yordle,
Oh, and a Gust here?
and we have a Ride the Wind.
Oh,
so
Ride
we're
the
gonna
Wind,
Ride
sorry
the
about
Winds
that.
in our 7 might unit. So we have 7 and 4 at that battlefield against a Lecturing Yordle and an Echo. This is why we kept the mana up. We wanted to get full value out of the Echo, but we don't want to be fully tapped out. We need some battle tricks. So we're going to be using 3 mana. It's a 3 mana Ahri ability. What could he be playing? He's thinking really hard. The Ahri player loses this battle. It's really bad. It's really difficult for him to come back from here. He was already really trying to push in before.
Yeah, Ari, again, is a type of deck that really tries to get a lead and then sticks with that lead the entire time. But right now, whenever it's on the back foot, it always looks like not a premium deck.
I think right now they're trying to have a judge call. I think the Echo player might be trying to float his 3 mana in the battle phase in order to, when Echo dies, get that mana back in order to play Time Warp. They're just trying to get a confirmation from the judge on hand in order to just, agree with that ruling. I really like Echo. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, Echo's a great card. I'm a big fan of it. Like, being able to just. You don't even need to accelerate 9 times out of 10. You could just summon it and, like, set up a big turn with just a big Echo.
Yeah.
The cool thing with Echo, it trades with Darius. It attacks over Kiana's, attacks over a bunch of other stuff. All right, here we go.
So we're going to accelerate. Well, we already did. We accelerated Echo. We got it back, got our mana. We're going to play a Lecturing Yordle. It's not looking good if we have to play a Lecturing Yordle off of our free mana we got back from Echo.
Yeah. And then right here, it's looking really menacing. It's going to be a double hold.
In these Yasuo decks, you're not really utilizing Yasuo until you're able to play Yasuo and use your hero power and have some type of mana held up in order to help buff you or protect yourself. So Yasuo isn't really an early game play. He's more of a late game play. So we're relying on these 7 mana, 2 mana cards in order to push in. And then when we have the ability to play Yasuo and use our leader ability, we'll play him in the same turn. But it looks like that might not even be necessary this turn because we have such a strong hold on the game that we can just keep tempoing out our cards and rely on the Yasuo if we really need him later on. We do know that the Ahri player has a
Time
warp in her hand, so an extra turn can come out here.
But
not next turn, but the turn after.
Yes, I was about to say, it's only going to go up to 9 here.
We got both battlefields. We could make a full retreat. This player is showing us how he knows how to attack and defend very appropriately in this game. That is a very hard learning curve for a lot of players, is when should you pull your creatures back? When should you try for the hold? And we're just playing around the Watcher again. We're going to develop our Yas in the back row for next turn. We don't have enough mana to just pump him out here, but we're going to get him ready for the attack on the following turn. The Yasuo unit, what he does is he has 6 might, and when that Yasuo attacks, he gets to deal his damage to a unit at that battlefield before the combat takes place. Any buffs that Yasuo gets additionally can improve that damage. So if you have an on guard and he goes up to 8, he gets to ping for 8 instead of 6.
Yeah, and here's the scary part about it all. Like, the Ahri can get all these points back, but the Yasuo, because he retreated everything back into the base, he's able to pick and choose of what battle's going to happen. Right here, he's making a fat stack getting this Ahri up. That's the beauty of cards like Time Warp in the Ahri deck. Sometimes the Ahri deck is a little slow to start up, and it might have the point disadvantage. But when you activate cards like Time Warp, you'll be able to get that. You'll be able to get that back.
We're just trying to fortify as much as possible so he can't win this turn. We're even playing the Sprite Mother and the Sprite in the singular battlefield to just get as many as we can.
Yeah.
The thing that is good and bad about Ahri is you don't have to activate her ability as the legend. You just have to control the battlefield and it will just occur.
Yes.
Now, the bad thing about that is there's nothing proactive like with Yasuo's legend ability where you can move people around, or Teemo's legend ability. It is purely a legend ability that relies on your opponent.
Being able to get a battlefield.
You get a battlefield as well. We're going to go for the 1 Conquer.
There you go. He's already at 7, so he gets to be able to draw that extra card.
In Riftbound, it's first to 8. In order to get your 8th point, you need to conquer both battlefields in one singular turn, or hold one battlefield for 1 turn.
The issue here is, do you think that Irvin can just make a fat stack on the top battlefield, and it potentially doesn't get answered?
The problem is the Time Warp, because if he plays that, then he can pull all of his units back to base Time Warp and then destroy them.
You're right.
So we do have to play around this Time Warp. So it is kind of annoying that we didn't rip it earlier, but the more menacing thing in that moment was the Tasty Faith Oak. But now that our Ahri player is playing in such a way where he's controlling one battlefield and he's going to rely on that Time Warp to keep us off the hold point, it's a problem for us.
But just remember, this Ahri is at 2.
True.
Yeah, so she really has to go through a lot to try to win this game right now.
It's not over.
Still
Not
not
over
over
till
yet.
it's over. If the Ahri player has no accelerated, I like kind of maybe just passing here on the Yasuo side, keeping all your big people in the back, and just saying, hey, you have to use your entire time warp to kill this little Poro. Unless he has a rush. And not rush, accelerated character. The Ahri does have an extra Echo, extra Watchers in the deck, Sprite Mother, so
A lot of accelerated
likely to
units
have.
to try to break up the boards.
Instead of pushing in the Poro, I would have liked maybe to push in, I always forget his name, the Waterbender, who the 3-drop that when he attacks or defends alone, he gets +2 might, so he's at 4 instead of 2. So it requires the Ahri player to push in more into that. I would have liked to put that one in there instead of the Poro, but I like the idea altogether, just making him waste a time warp or having accelerate. He's putting him on, use that time warp or accelerate a unit now. We're just determining if that's our game plan. Are we leaving that single Poro in there alone? So I'll check our hand one more time. We have 1 mana up, not too much interaction. So if we put too many units in one battlefield, they're just going to die for free to the time warp. There's not much a Yasuo player can do for 1. You have Gust, you have the 1 mana spell that buffs you up by 2 if you're alone, but if you put an extra guy in there, you're not alone anymore. That's his name, Wielder of Water. When he's attacking or defending, he gets +2.
All right, he activated a gust, and he's choosing to retreat back the Ahri, channeling a rune, making the board just a little bit smaller. Do you think he's going to just slowly send in one by one? Slowly break it down? Because if he does that, honestly, the mask ends up giving him +1 extra time.
You also instantly gets to kill the Watcher. So it's actually not even that bad. We took the Ahri down. But the problem is that the Yasuo is going to get -1 from the Legend ability. So it's going to go up +1. But then it will go down -1. So we can't use it to kill the Watcher. So we killed one of our other units. We killed the Ravenbloom student. We have 2, 7, 3, and 3. That's 10, that's 15. And then Yasuo is at 15 as well. Yasuo's decided to trade.
Okay, perfect. And with this, it makes it to where the time warp does not answer the Poro. The Poro. Because of the temporary, the sprite leaves, and now when he activates time warp, there's nothing. He needs to answer this Poro right now, or else it is game point.
That's an interesting play, which I didn't think about, but I do like. I do like trading everything for everything on your opponent's
trying to
board.
set up this checkmate right here. He's seen already 2 accelerated creatures. What else can he summon?
He has to be on an accelerate right now.
The thing about it is we've seen Sprite Mothers even, so that can even be an out.
So that deck probably runs like 2 Sprite Mothers, 2 Echoes, 2
looks like it's going to
Watchers.
be an Echo or a Sprite Mother.
I think
It's going to be an accelerated Echo.
Yeah, he did have the accelerator. It's unfortunate. I still like the play that the Yasuo player did.
Yeah, it was honestly put him on better habit. If he didn't have it, it was the game here. I really think that was his best shot.
The Ahri on that battlefield in order to bunker down and hold. That Ahri is whenever your opponent attacks in, you give him -2. Your Legend gives it another -1, so it's -3. Together, the Echo and the Ahri have 8 might. So 8 might and then -3 to the opponent. So there's technically like 11 might worth of stuff in that top battlefield.
Yeah, and the great part about it is Gale's not at the Grove of the God Willow, so ooh. right here. Accelerated
We're saying
6.
we can accelerate as well. And we're going to go back to the God Willow.
Trying to draw a card here. And he's trying to put him on better have another answer to this unit.
He will be able to do the Time Warp, but now we're just going to be using his Time Warp. If he has 9 mana right now, so if he uses a Time Warp, he'll be at 2 mana in order to interact with our opponent. We're going to hide a card. It's probably a Fight or Flight, which is pretty rough.
Here we go. We put him on better have it again. It's checkpoint.
Our Yasuo player has 3 mana. He's like, well, we better win the game here. He might have a couple stack behind there, but he definitely just got rid of a lot of mana with the Accelerate and putting that card back. Okay, it looks like we're pulling out, and then we're going to
probably playing a time warp here.
1, 2, 3. Huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be time warp.
But he turned the blue thing.
Yeah, the rune and the seal, and then 3.
Is time warp 4?
4.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was 3. You can tell I don't play with time warp. I thought it was 3. Those of you who don't know, time warp just allows the player who casts it in order to get a second turn after this one. So the plan is to bring his units back to the base. They're not readied. Time warp and his turn, they ready, and then he can attack in. The problem here is if that's a fight or flight, it's really hard for the Ahri player to actually win and push off the Tasty Fey Folk. We're going for a Stupefy just to draw a little more. We want to use that mana, and we're kind of saying that we know that's a fight or flight. Let's try to draw something like a Charm or some type of battle trick to up our
Well,
Ahri.
Watcher will do it too.
Or Watcher.
I mean? Yeah.
Or an Echo. Yeah, or another Accelerate.
Oh, it looks like it's a Defy on the Stupefy.
Just doesn't want him to see more cards.
Yeah. He's really saying, hey, you have to have another answer to this.
That is kind of a weird Stupefy because you would want to kind of protect your thing.
Yeah,
Maybe
also double Stupefy answers that board still.
Weird Stupefy, but he probably has another Deny or Riposte in his hand, something like that, in order to help his Tasty. So attack in. We know this is a fight or flight.
Oh, Hourglass. Okay.
Oh, interesting. That means that we're kind of just baiting the fight or flight this whole time. Interesting.
So it's going to be 5 to 5 and 3 right now. The issue is he's probably going to kill the Echo, but then that's a lot of mana to play with. Nope. Doesn't choose not to float any of the mana.
So the Echo's getting no value. We're leaving him there in the trash. We're not recycling him or getting any mana back.
Just to go to 5, though.
How much mana do we actually have here? We put back a lot. Let's see how much mana we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 mana to work with. So last turn he did have 6 mana. Really going into the Ahri. It gets -2, then -1. It's getting +1, so we're up 1. No battle tricks on the Ahri
No battle
side.
tricks. Okay.
He needed
and if he's
literally
able to
anything.
hold, oh, and a double Tasty Fey Folk takes it down.
So that is a double win
for Yasuo.
for the
It was
Yasuo
looking
player.
good for the Ahri for a second, but honestly, just the rush down from the Yasuo was a little too much. The time warp wasn't enough. That was a great game by Yasuo.